I would like to welcome you today to our Project Transformation Oklahoma webinar. I'm really excited that we have this organization presenting today. So without further ado, I would like to introduce today's speaker. Her name is Kelsey Ricks, and she is the Program Director for Project Transformation Oklahoma. So Kelsey, if you would like to get started.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I'm very happy to be with you and to get to share more about our organization with you. I have a PowerPoint that I'm going to share just so you can have a visual aid for learning about our organization. If you have any questions while I'm talking, please feel free to type them into the chat bar, and I will try to answer those as they come. So let's see, let me get this up. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. There we go. So I work for Project Transformation Oklahoma, and we are a summer literacy program and day camp for elementary age children in low-income communities across the state of Oklahoma. So what that means is we are also a partner ministry of the Oklahoma United Methodist Church. And what that means is that we have 9 different day camps across the state that take place in Oklahoma United Methodist churches. We are not a religiously focused camp, but we are supported by the United Methodist Church. We are literacy focused because we believe wholeheartedly that how important literacy is over the course of the summer. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. But in addition to being a literacy program, we're also a day camp in every element of that. So we have field trips, we do science and math, they do recreation, they get to do all sorts of fun games and activities, and really giving the kids a well-rounded experience to make sure that they are learning and growing academically over the course of the summer. As you can see on the screen, we have 9 sites across the state where we work. We work in Oklahoma City, Moore. We have 2 sites in Tulsa, 1 in Bartlesville, 1 in Muskogee, Enid, El Reno, and Mayhem. And at those different sites, we hire 56 college students each summer to work as the coordinators for our program. Like I said, we are first and foremost a literacy-focused organization. As you may know or have experienced yourself, a lot of the time in the summer, kids are not doing anything academic. And this is especially true a lot of times for a wide variety of reasons for children from low-income communities. The average child from a low-income community will fall behind about 2 to 3 months in their literacy learning over the course of the summer. And if you think about how much that can impact a child's future, if that's happening every summer and they're starting off school in the fall every year behind, can just get them further and further behind. And as you know, as literacy is just so important in every aspect of a child's life and in their future. And so at Project Transformation, we're seeking to overcome that and make sure that each child is reading every single day. So with our program, each child spends 30 minutes every day reading one-on-one with an adult volunteer, as you can see in this adorable picture here. They read for those 30 minutes, and then they're also doing other literacy activities throughout the day. So as I mentioned before, we have a science and math focus, we do recreation, we do a lot in the arts. And so in all of those content areas, we're seeking to help the kids to grow and learn in their literacy skills through content learning in those areas. This slide is just to kind of tell you about the different successes that we have had in the past. So last year, as if you can see at the bottom there, we served 456 campers across the state of Oklahoma. And out of those 456 kids, 100% of them maintained or improved their reading levels, which was pretty amazing considering the statistics for how often kids fall behind. And then also out of those 456 campers, 66% of them improved their reading levels. So those statistics are really cool to see that how impactful the work that we are doing is, and that we really are making a difference in these kids' lives. So how does this involve you? So we hire, like I said before, we hire 56 college students each summer to be the coordinators of our programs. We have 10 weeks of, it's a 10-week commitment for you, so there are 2 weeks of training, and then there's 8 weeks of camp. So your full-time commitment would be from May 20th through July 27th. We do have breaks on the weekends, and then we have a break for July 4th as well. But in general, those 10 weeks are the time that you're committed to working for Project Transformation. And you're working together as a team. So we are all about community and about growing in relationships, not only with the kids, but with other college students as well. And so you're working on teams of 6 under the leadership of a supervisor. And we hire people from all different backgrounds. You know, we're a literacy program, but you don't have to be an education major or trained in education to work for us, because we have so many different aspects of our program. So as you can see there, we have different coordinator positions for each of the college students. So those are team, reading, afternoon activities, arts and crafts, STEM, and recreation. So we have a different area of focus for everyone, and a different part of the camp that you would be in charge of leading. Let's see. So just kind of give you an idea, that's a question a lot of times people ask is, what does the daily structure of the camp look like? And so we start off at 9, and each child gets breakfast when they come in the morning. And then we have what's called Harambe, which that is a Swahili word, which means coming together. And so that is our morning opening time, where we're just getting them excited and motivated and focused to have a productive and fun day. And then they go into 4 classroom rotations. And those rotations are reading, STEM, recreation, and arts and crafts. And so they're divided into 4 groups. They go through those rotations. Then they have lunch, and then they go into what's called afternoon activities time and reading rockstar. So afternoon activities, really the sky is the limit for what happens in that time. They can go on field trips, they go to the library, they go swimming, they have guest performers and presenters come. We do a lot of the times do like career days so that they're learning about different possibilities for their future. We have different representatives from the community come, all sorts of different things so that they're really having a well-rounded, holistic experience. And then Reading Rockstars is another literacy activity as a group that we do in the afternoon. So then they have snack, and then the campers go home at 3 o'clock. So what does this include for you? That's another question that I often get. So as I mentioned before, we have 9 sites across the state where we are working, but you don't have to be from that location to work at that site, because we provide you with housing in that community. Sometimes the housing is in dorms if there are universities in that area. Sometimes it's in rental homes that we have donated from our community partners. Sometimes it's apartments. So it just varies from site to site, but you are living in community with the other college students that you are working with, and typically you'll only have 1 roommate. But the idea of living together is that you are growing in your relationships together, you're building strong friendships and strong bonds with one another, so that hopefully when you're working with the kids, that your strength as a team is built because of the relationships that you have built from living together. So in addition to housing, you also receive an $1,800 living stipend, which that just means that's basically your salary throughout the summer. So you're receiving $1,800 over the course of the summer. And then at the end of the summer, you receive a $1,200 AmeriCorps Education Award. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about AmeriCorps here in a second. But that $1,200 is basically a scholarship that you can use to you can use it at your university, you can use it to pay back loans, or if you're planning on going to graduate school in the future, you can save it for up to 7 years and use that money in the future. So it's basically in a like a savings account for you to be used however you would like. And then in addition to all of that, we provide you with about 3/4 of your meals throughout the summer. So altogether, you're not having to pay for housing, you're not having to pay for a whole lot of food, and collectively you're making about $3,000 over the course of the summer. So it's a pretty great deal, I would say. And as you can see from these pictures, you're also making just great long-lasting friendships with the people that you're working with. In addition to that, what I mentioned before, you are also working as an Oklahoma AmeriCorps member. You might have heard of AmeriCorps before. A good way of describing what it is, it's essentially a domestic Peace Corps. It is government funding that is given to people working in service positions across the United States. And so being an AmeriCorps member is a very prestigious thing to have on a resume. It shows that you are civic-minded, that you are invested in your community, and that you have worked in a service position. So in addition to working for Project Transformation, you are serving Project Transformation as an AmeriCorps member. So we hire, as I mentioned before, we hire college students at the undergraduate or graduate level from all majors and all backgrounds. What we really believe that, kids can't know they want to be something if they haven't experienced someone doing it. And so we love to hire people from all different majors to expose the kids to so many different possibilities for their future and just for their lives. So we hire people from all backgrounds and majors. And just important that you love kids, that you have strong communication and interpersonal skills, that you're open-minded, you're meeting people from all different backgrounds and walks of life, and just that you're highly motivated, and that most importantly that you have a love for working with other people and for service. And then, as I kind of mentioned before, all we talk about at Project Transformation is that Project Transformation is all about building relationships. So we are working with the kids on their literacy. We're working to develop them holistically and with social and emotional skills. But all of those things can't happen if strong relationships haven't been formed. And so that is who we are to the core, first on building strong relationships amongst the college students that we hire. But then also building strong relationships with the kids. It's just so impactful working with the same kids for these full 8 weeks, just how much of an impact you can have on their lives, on their future is really amazing. And so I've asked one of our employees from last year, who is also going to be working for us this summer, Sydney, to share a little bit about what it is like being a college student and working for Project Transformation. So I'm going to turn it over to Sydney here for just a second.
Hi guys, I'm Sydney. I go to Oklahoma City University and I'm a secondary math education major, so that's just a little about me. But Project Transformation has truly changed my life in a way that I never thought it would. I built relationships with the students that came every day, with the campers. I built relationships with people on my site that we were working with, and I also built relationships with people that worked at different sites that I lived with, and people that I didn't live with. Project Transformation is just an awesome program, regardless of where you want to go in your future, because it provides you a sense of it kind of brings you down back to earth, and you get to work with awesome kids who just really put a smile on your face most of the time. But I mean, I won't lie, like it can be hard. Like sometimes you get irritated with your coworker, or you get irritated because the kid is doing something that you told them 5 times to stop. But at the end of the day, you know that you're really making a difference. And those minor issues, they're minor issues. They're not things that are make or break. And so that strong relationship that Kelsey was talking about building, you build those relationships, and yeah, sometimes they're hard, but they really are lifelong. And I love Project Transformation. I honestly could go on and on about it, but It's going to help me in my future. Yes, I am going into education, but it would help regardless of what I'm going to do. It's given me experience. It gives me something to do during the summer. It helps me to stay motivated. And you know what? You get your steps in too, because those kids will keep you on your toes. But it's just an amazing program to be involved with, and to be able to say that I've worked for Project Transformation and that I'm going to be working for Project Transformation is truly an honor. So yeah, so that's about what I have. But there's a lot of memories and hopefully continuing memories that I'm going to be making. So yeah, it's about all I have.
Awesome. Thank you, Sydney. I really appreciate that. So we did have a question. For Project Transformation, we have 9 sites across the state where we work. So there are 2 in the Oklahoma City area, 2 in the Tulsa area, and then Bartlesville, Muskogee, Mangum, El Reno, and Enid are where we're located. But as I mentioned before, we provide you with housing in all of those locations. But as Sydney mentioned, just moving forward, Project Transformation is just really impactful for whatever career path that you are on. We do a lot, not only with the development of the children, but also with the development of the college students as well. You're learning so many different skills that are going to prepare you for whatever career path you are on. You're developing leadership skills, lots of interpersonal awareness. You're learning how to work on a team. You're doing lesson planning throughout the summer, so time management is a big aspect of that. It's something we all, I'm sure, need to be better at. So it's really giving you and preparing you for skills that you will need in whatever career you're working in. It is just a lot of fun. It's a wonderful experience. I actually did it in college, and now I work for them, so if that tells you anything about how much I love it. But it just really is a wonderful way to serve and to spend your summer. So I'm trying to look. Let me see. I'm going to go to my next slide, just so you can know how to apply. Let me see. One second. Oh, another question we asked was, can you pick which location you want to work at? So how that works is you apply to Project Transformation in general, and then in your application or in your interview, I ask you, are you interested in going to a particular location? We do our best to try and make that happen for people. If you want to be near a certain area, we try to make that happen as best we can. We place people at their preference according to the order in which they applied. So the earlier you apply, the more likely you are to be placed at your location of choice. But we do the best that we can to make sure you are where you would like to be, or as close as possible to where you would like to be. More information about where to apply. If you go to our website, projecttransformation.org/Oklahoma, or you can just Google Project Transformation Oklahoma and it will come up. If you go to that website, there's a button at the top that says Apply to Serve. If you click on that, it will show you the different aspects of our application. I'm actually going to pull those up for you here just a second. But you do have, it's pretty straightforward application process. We have an application packet and then 2 reference forms that you have to have filled out. And so those reference forms, let me see. I'm going to share this with you. Here we go. So if you click on Apply to Serve here at the top, and you scroll down, you'll see that we have our application packet is here, and then that we have 2 reference forms that are required. So you can submit those or you can submit all of this by email, which is here, or you can send it through the mail as well. You'll see here that our second deadline is March 16th. So that's coming up at the end of next week. But we do continue to take applications past our deadline until all of our 56 positions are filled. So if you're able, please try and you're interested in applying, please try and meet that March 16th deadline. But do not let that deter you. Please contact me if you're interested and see if we still have positions available. Okay, so that's really all of the information that I have. I've really enjoyed getting to talk to all of you. Does anyone else have any more questions? Please type them into the chat if you have any particular questions. So I mentioned the dates. It's May 20th through July 27th. You do have, one question people always ask is, in July 4th, what times do you have off? And this year you'll have July 4th through the 8th off. So those are the dates for that, and you have weekends off every week as well. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, if you don't have any more questions.
Thank you so much, Kelsey. I know that was really great information. So any of you that are on the webinar today, if you missed any of that information, maybe you wanted to see actually how you would apply when she pulled up that slide, this information will be on our website, so feel free to check that out. We're going to get that put on hopefully by the end of today. So we will have Kelsey's contact information on that posting as well, so that if you have any questions about applying, or maybe just in-depth questions about what it would look like to actually be a part of this organization, you can definitely get a hold of her there. So thank you guys for joining, and I hope everybody has a great day.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.